Well, good morning and welcome back to the Little French Homestead. My name is Sherry. If you are new to my channel, welcome. So I just want to go over a couple things before I jump into today's video. I had put out a video not too long ago explaining that my daughter Abigail had ear surgery that day, so I was doing like some extra meal prep in advance. I just want to let everybody know she is doing very well. She is very hard of hearing, pretty much deaf. We did all of the other options. So final option is they had to go in. This is our new baby kitty Jinx right here. She is dropping my cough drops everywhere. I have a bad cold, so I have my cough drops here, and now she's jumping up on my table. She's doing very well. She went back to school this week, and everything is all good to go. They had to shave a little bit of the bone behind here. She is going to get the magnetic cochlear attachment goes here, so they had to put the magnet behind her ear. She is now back to school, and she is doing very well. We have a follow-up visit in a couple of weeks with her doctor who did the surgery. And then the week before that, actually, she'll go get the device that goes onto the cochlear implant. And then she'll be able to hear out of this ear. Once everything is up and running and working, we'll schedule the surgery for her right ear, and then she'll have the both. But thank you so much for asking. If I have to take a quick little break because I got a really bad coughing fit, please, I will come back to that. Like I said, I just came over this weekend, just a cough. I don't have any fever or anything like that, but if you hear me, I'm sorry. So going into today's video, we're going to talk about the pantry challenge, okay? We're going to talk about what I did for the pantry challenge and how I prepared for it, and to see what any holes I have in my prep and what I could do better. Now, I have seen the pantry challenge going on for the last few years, and this year was the first year I was actually able to go ahead and do that. I would have loved to do that before, but I was in no shape, no means, no financial state of doing that. So what I did, and I know everybody's situation is different, so no offense to anybody out there, but we do have a rather large family. We have 5 people in this house. I have 3 children. One is 22, the other are twin 14-year-olds who'll be 15. I do have an older daughter who doesn't live with us. She lives with her boyfriend 3 hours away. In my family, though, we also have 5 cats. We recently got another cat named Jinx, my oldest daughter. Her stray mother cat had kittens. She asked if I could take one to relieve some burden off of her. I said, sure, what's one more cat in a house full of 4? Excuse me. And also, too, we have 12 chickens. So 5 people, 5 cats, 12 chickens. That's a lot of mouths to feed. So over the last year or two, we've been taking some, not all of it, some of our income tax. If you have children, you know that you usually get a good size one. If you don't, or you used to, then you know kind of what we work with. We usually take that money. I try to get anywhere between $800 to $1,000. Sometimes, you know, it's $500. Sometimes it's up to $1,200. It really all depends. We like to go ahead and pay some bills off or pay some bills in advance, so we don't have then that monthly fee or that monthly charge every month. Most years we can do that. Some years we can't. Some years we can. So what I usually do is try to put a budget aside so we could go to Sam's and spend that. And I buy in bulk over there. So I'll buy like extra toilet paper, paper towels. I'm sorry to say, but we are a family that we use paper plates. There is too many of us in here. We only actually have 7 plates. And if we were actually able to, if we bought enough plates for everybody, because, you know, some people will have breakfast, they'll have toast, they'll have eggs or something. I mean, we'd be doing dishes by hand all the time. So for us, it is easier. We usually just toss them out in our fire pit and we light them on fire. So we don't have to take them to the dump, and, you know, the landfill doesn't get fuller out that way. But that's how I have to run my family. Now, obviously, during special occasions and whatnot, we do use real plates. But then also, too, you know, we do stock up on dish soap. We stock up on laundry detergent, fabric softeners. You know, my girls have their monthlies, so I buy those. Shampoo, conditioner, deodorant, my husband's shaving cream and razors and stuff like that. Excuse me. And so like his deodorant and stuff. So we usually go buy bulk and that. Q-tips, toothpaste, you know. I usually try to stock up as much as in advance as I possibly can. Sometimes I can only get 1 thing of toothpaste, which is a pack of 5. You know, that could last us a couple of months. I usually try to make that to go at least every 4 to 6 weeks. That's jinx. Every 4 to 6 weeks. Sometimes it's 8 weeks, you know. Then we'll go up and we'll go get some more stuff. Doesn't mean that I only go there to buy and shop to save. We have a local Publix down over here, and they have a lot of buy one, get one frees. I know some people are saying, oh my goodness, they raised the price on it, but no, they really don't. I did a video where I did Publix and a Walmart side-by-side versing. Now, yeah, if you're just buying 1 single item of mayonnaise, excuse me, if you're buying 1 single item of mayonnaise, then yeah, maybe Walmart might be cheaper. But if you do the buy one, get one free, Publix is cheaper. So you've got to think of things like that. Check your sales paper, check your discount stores and stuff. Go for it. So with me and my pantry challenge, we did find that we went through a little bit more of our canned vegetables because I wasn't going to go ahead and stock up 30 days worth of frozen vegetables, which is okay. You know, usually I go to Sam's and I'll go buy their couple of big packs of their frozen broccoli. I try to buy fresh as I can, but I mean, you can't get broccoli right now. You know, that's going to be a decent price. So, you know, we go frozen. Frozen is best after fresh. The cans, you know, I had bought in bulk with Sam's Club. You get the 8-pack of corn and peas and green beans. And, you know, when you buy 8 of those, those are 24. So that can last you almost every day. And then if you get like the frozen broccoli, you've got a vegetable for every day of the week. Well, we ran very low, almost out of quite a few of those. Thankfully, I did stock up in the back, but I did not want to use into that rotation yet. I wanted to use what I had on the shelf because those are the ones on my shelf that I had bought first. And then the stuff in the back is going to be coming out here. So I had found some of that holes as well. Now for the pantry challenge though, you know, some of you, I don't, at this time frame, probably have a good sized garden, and you probably canned your vegetables and your fruits. If you got some fruit trees, you know, you probably preserved them by freezing them, or if you got a dehydrator, you dehydrated them. Unfortunately, I don't have a dehydrator. I don't have a Harvest Right freeze dryer either. That is something in my long-term budget. I would very much love one, but I can't afford that right now. They're like $3,000. I don't have that. Even with my income tax check, I will not purchase one on that. I guess I do know that they have payment plans, but I'm one of those ones where I'd rather purchase it outright and not have a payment plan, because then that's something else I have to pay for every month. You know, so if you don't grow a garden like I don't, I do have one out here. I did try this year again, and I didn't get a lot of success. My father's got a garden. He has a lot more success than I do. So sometimes he was giving us the leftovers that he has. He grew a lot of lettuce. They got tired of having salads. We're like, great, we'll take that lettuce. You know, we'll take those carrots. We'll take that bok choy. We'll take your cabbage. Anything that he grew that he got sick of eating on a daily basis, we took in. And you know, also too, if you can't grow it, say you're in an apartment, you know, you can still try to go ahead and buy from your farmers markets. You know, talk to them in advance and say, hey, listen, how much does a, you know, 25-pound or a 50-pound bag or whatever it is, box of carrots are, you know? So if you can afford that, go and buy bulk in carrots. Take those home, wash them all down, clean them all up, cut them up. Go ahead and then can them. Now you have canned carrots on your pantry shelf. Now the next time you go down there, okay, well, how much is, you know, green beans? And you go do that with green beans. And then you can go down there with pickles. I mean, cucumbers. You can make, you know, pickles, spheres. You can make dill pickles, garlic pickles, you know, anything that you want. Pickle relish, you know, anything. Use your imagination. Look online. You can also get, I'm going to try this year, some cowboy candy. Now, my son and one of my daughters likes spicy food, but I'm not a fan of it. I don't mind a little bit of heat, but I don't like it linger. That's my thing. So what I told him I would do is I will find some jalapenos, and I will de-seed most of them, but keep a few in there. And I'm gonna try to make a canned cowboy candy and try that. I've never tried that before. You know, I'm just gonna get a little bit, and if I like it, then I will go buy a bunch more. And that's how you can build your stock. Think of what your family eats in, you know, a month or 2 months, and then go buy for that. So if you think that your family is going to like the canned carrots, or you already know that you like carrots, go ahead and go do that. If you think you're going to have carrots once a week, well, then you need 52 cans of carrots. You know, you don't have to get it all at once. Try for 26. You know, that's half a year. Okay. Same thing with potatoes. You know, you can buy, if, you know, especially around the holidays, you know, Thanksgiving, Christmas, they do a lot of big, huge sales on potatoes. Go ahead, dice them up, and then go ahead and can them. Yeah, the cannings are an investment, but they're a lifelong investment that you only have to invest in once in order to go ahead and maximize your savings for the rest of the lifetime that you own them. So as I was trying to think out in my head. We did through a lot of meats. I did prep a little bit in advance. All right, so I knew that I was going to do the pantry challenge, and I want to say maybe like 2 weeks. I think it was like 2 weeks before the pantry challenge started, because it starts January 1st. I had gone to Sam's Club. We still needed some of our non-food items. So I was like, well, let me go ahead and bulk up to see what we need. And we did a really good supply run. I had made a month-long menu of what I wanted to use, but life threw us some curveballs, and I needed to quickly move out of that and move into other things. Now, I haven't really talked about this at all, but for the last 5 months, I have been out of work. I have a job now, but I usually go in for 1 o'clock in the afternoon, so I got to get as much meal prep ready as I can. And with that being said, having a back stock really helped. Now, I will also link that video to you, probably here and here, of one of my $20 pantry challenge video, and then, you know, how to make sure that you prepare yourself for financial problems. So yeah, I've been out of work, and thankfully, we had stocked up so much over these last 2 years that was not a financial burden on us. So except for, you know, going to get milk and some fresh fruits and veggies here and there, maybe some ice cream when it was on sale, we were really able to, and what we had in savings, obviously, and with my husband's job, he was still working full-time, we were actually able to go ahead and sustain me not working for those 5 months. I was looking for a position. I was being a little picky because I did not want to travel 30 minutes away with my car having some issues. I needed to make sure I stayed in my hometown. So a couple of opportunities came aroused, but they fell through. But this last one works out, and it is perfect. It's just at my level exactly what I wanted to do. So with that being said, that pantry challenge and us stocking up probably really saved us from being in the weeds, okay? I did not need to go on any food assistance. I did not need food stamps. I did not need anything. We used what we had, and that was actually a true lifesaver. So things like that can happen, you know. That's why in one of the videos I said, you know, some people, you know, when they hear the word prepping, they think it's like end of doom, you know, crap hits the fan kind of thing, zombie apocalypse, blah, blah, blah. But ours wasn't like that. You know, we prep, but it's to prepare us. We live in Florida, so we have to make sure that we are prepared. I mean, I know everybody up in my former state of New Hampshire, they're all freezing right now. It's like -18 today. I showed my daughter this morning on the phone. I says, look, I says, we used to live up in the White Mountains. Shout out to Whitefield. It was -18 this morning up there. Now, it's not any better right now here in Florida where I'm at, in Marion County, but you know, we're still above the freezing mark, you know, right now. We had many nights where we weren't. So we've had to have the heat on. But, you know, we don't know what's going to happen. You know, you don't know if you're going to have a power outage. You don't know if you're going to have, like I said, like a job loss, you know, hurricane, down here is we do a lot of hurricane prepping. So, I mean, we were actually well prepared for everything that life and Mother Nature is going to throw for us. So I'm just trying to make sure that even though you did that pantry challenge, hopefully you did, and hopefully it was a success for you and your family. Now you see where the holes are in your prepping and in my prepping. I saw some of my holes. Like I said, I could have stocked up some more cans, more frozen vegetables if I really wanted to. But other than that, I mean, we did pretty good. We used almost everything. I had to substitute some stuff because I didn't have it and I wasn't going to go buy it just for that. Some of the stuff, I had some seasonings that was called like the dry ranch mix. I don't keep that in stock because I make my own. So when they asked for that, well, I just used mine. So that's what you can do to get creative like that. If you've got a lot of bulk spices, make your own spices, save some money, and that way you're not going to the store. We have a lot of tacos in our house or stuff that uses taco mix. I don't buy the taco mix stuff. I make my own. And I always keep a full jar. You see me in my kitchen cooking, and that is in a quart size, and that's what I use. So, I mean, just look at your holes and fill them, you know. If you ate one sort of protein or vegetable mostly, and you never touched another vegetable, then don't buy that vegetable anymore. Don't buy that particular protein. If you maybe did some dry mixes for like some rices or something like that, you bought a bunch, you know, and you didn't use any, well, then use them now, but then don't buy those again. Always buy what's on sale. Buy what's buy one, get one free. Shopping in bulk, excuse me. You know, if you got a Sam's Club, you got a BJ's, you got a Costco near you, go get a membership. It's a little bit of it up for a cost, but trust me, it'll save you a bunch of money down the line. I use mine all the time. With Sam's Club, we get Sam's Cash. We needed eggs this past weekend. My husband didn't realize I was using some eggs for some meals this week, and he ate all the eggs. They were our chicken eggs, which is great, but I need a whole bunch more. So I asked him, let's go to Sam's Club and buy some eggs. And we had Sam's Cash, so we didn't have to pay for it. You know, that's a great incentive as well to use, sorry, the cat's down here playing with something. That's a great way to, you know, also to have some extra money aside when you do those big bulk shopping trips. You know, we spent $700 back then, and we got $15 worth of not Kohl's, I always say that, Sam's Club. And we went and, you know, used $5 of it, so we still have $10 left. Then you can use that anytime you need something. So with that, check your holes, write a list down. You know, hopefully you kept track of what you used before you had it and after, and, you know, see what you did and see what you went through. Once you do that, then go ahead and come up with a plan. You know, if you need to use your tax refund, if you get a refund, use your refund. You know, don't use all of it. Just take a small portion out. Pay what you need to pay first, and then whatever you got left, you know, put some in savings. Then, you know, go to your local club, get a few extra items in bulk. You know, chicken noodle soups, you know, stuff like that. Soups are a great thing to have in stock, you know. Anything that can help you prepare. You should eventually have at least 3 months worth of supplies for you and your family in the event of a serious crisis, okay? Our serious crisis was a job loss. We had 5 months worth of stuff, okay? That's all what I'm just trying to say is think of one of your worst scenarios. I'm not trying to put fear in anybody, but think of one of your worst scenarios and build on that. You know, buy, when you get a little bit of extra, buy beans, but dried beans, sugar, rices, salt, pepper. If you like oats, do oats. You know, you can make oatmeal. You can then blend it, make oat flour. You can use so many things with this. These are these bulk items that they will last a very long time, as long as you can store them properly, you know, seal them all up. I have gamma lids in 5-gallon buckets. I seal them all up. I use those. Look at what you have on hand. Buy little bit as you need it to build up your stock. So I hope this video was a little helpful for you. It was very eye-opening to me of what I needed to get done in my pantry. So I will link a couple of those videos over here, and we'll be in the kitchen probably either Thursday or Friday. You'll be seeing this video on Tuesday, and I do have a plan for Saturday. You may see that video next Tuesday. We're going to be cooking a bunch of desserts for the potential and upcoming Valentine's Day. So I just want to say thank you, everybody, for being here today. If you like this video, go ahead and hit like, share, and most importantly, go ahead and subscribe. If you have any comments or anything like that, place them down below. I will try to answer as many as I can. My irresistible crockpot chicken has still been going very viral and out of control, and I've been trying to answer all of those questions. And most importantly, thank you for subscribing. Keep on cooking. Bye.